Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's Red Dead Redemption 2 video, we're going to be taking a look at a lady that makes sure that Arthur Morgan gets remembered forever. Okay, so you've probably run across this lady before, but you might not have been too sure what her objective was or what this actually meant. It's this lady sitting down in an all-pink outfit in Saint Denis who is sort of calling about your name and asking for a donation. And coming to her for the first time, this is what will happen.
Excuse me, sir. Can I bother you for a minute of your time? Can I tell you a little about what we're doing here?
Sure.
Less than a minute, I promise. We're trying to raise money to build an expansion to the Quincy Harris Memorial Hall, a shelter for homeless veterans and their families. Can you help? A donation of $20 would put us well on our way.
$20 ain't no chicken feed, but sure, I can help you out.
That's very kind. What is your name, sir?
Arthur Morgan.
Your donation will be acknowledged on a founder's plaque when the building is completed. You have a great day, Mr. Morgan.
Well, good luck to you. Seems a worthwhile cause.
Thank you, Mr. Morgan. Thank you.
Okay, so that first time right there, I did all the good options. I'm going to show you guys what happens if you don't do all of the good options in a little bit. But essentially, she is taking donations for the Quincy Harris Memorial Hall, which you can see is in the background and is like already built, but they're like doing some construction or renovation or some expansion for it. And you can see what it's supposed to look like when it is done. Now, in case you guys don't know, Quincy Harris was actually a war hero. I think a Confederate war hero since we're in Saint Denis. And that is why they named the Memorial Hall after him. Now, Arthur donates $20, and that is obviously very cool, and that is the entirety of the mission. Believe it or not, that is a stranger mission in Red Dead Redemption 2. However, I wanted to find out what happens if you chose all the different options of speaking to this woman. So that's what we're going to be doing next. We're going to be finding out if you decide to, instead of decline, actually take the money for yourself. And this is what happens.
Can you help? A donation of $20 would put us well on our way.
$20? I wish you luck, but I can't help you.
Of course. I understand. Thank you for your time.
Listen, good luck anyway.
I appreciate it. And spread the word if you can. What do you think you're doing? I'm getting the police right now.
So that's right, if you decide to be a horrible human being, you can actually loot the lockbox instead of donating, and you will get $25 out of this entire process, which I don't think is worth it, especially as we'll take a look at this a little bit later. But once again, that right there is another outcome that you can have. And the next outcome I wanted to do was the complete negative outcome where we were just like declining and antagonizing the entire time. And this is what occurs.
Can you help? A donation of $20 would put us well on our way.
$20? I wish you luck, but I can't help you.
Of course. I understand. Thank you for your time.
You ask me, a shelter won't do much good. What a soldier needs is a target, not a roof.
But the war is over. The war is over.
So I almost forgot to show you guys what the actual Memorial Hall was like. This is it right here. I'm sure you've walked by this hundreds of times in Red Dead Redemption 2. You can see that it is being worked on. There's like construction pillars all over the place. And right now, there's no mission that takes place in this building. There's no way to get inside. There's no interior either. Trust me, I already checked. So there's nothing cool to explore. Now, before we move on to the epilogue, I wanted to try one final thing. I wanted to actually loot this woman to see if she had anything on her, like a note or a letter or a document something that might give us a better idea of what's going on here, or if this was just a noble charitable cause. And it turns out that's the case, because hog tying her up and looting her gave us absolutely nothing other than her earrings, which did give me the ability to craft the boar tusk talisman, but that's besides the point. So now let's go to the epilogue. What happens if you decide not to donate to this lady? If you, throughout the entire game, chapters 2 through 6, do not donate to her, well, it actually will not be completed. So interestingly enough, I guess Arthur Morgan's donation sparks a very generous response from the community, because without his donation, apparently there's not enough money for this to ultimately be completed, because the Quincy Harris Memorial Hall looks exactly the same as it did 7 or 8 years ago. In fact, the only difference is that this lady, who is unnamed, by the way, we actually never figure out who she is actually not up front. So she is gone, she has moved on. It's likely that her campaign was not a success. In fact, it wasn't a success because, again, showing up in the epilogue, it isn't completed. The only thing of interest here is that there was this street urchin kid that was sort of lurking around the outside. And you could actually interact with him, and it looked like he was looking into the basement there, which, again, is kind of interesting. That's why I think there might be something else going on at this place. But I'm not too sure, because there's no way to get inside with the doors. There's no interiors or anything like that. So maybe this is Rockstar just adding some life to the world where you can sort of shoo off a street urchin kid. But I did find that to be kind of interesting. So now let's flash forward to the epilogue and what happens if you actually donate to the lady and then return to the epilogue. Well, this is what will happen. You will notice that the building is complete and that it looks totally different. So Arthur's donation allowed the front of the building and the archway to be completed, which is really cool. However, there's something a little bit extra that happens and that you can hear when looking at the plaque and inspecting the building.
Arthur Morgan. Well, hello, old friend.
Okay, so that was pretty cool, right? You heard John Marston say, like, Arthur Morgan, my good friend, good to see you. And you can see that the plaque says Quincy Harris Memorial Hall. This hall was erected to honor and commemorate General Harris by the Quincy Harris Memorial Hall Committee with the support of the citizens of Saint Denis. The committee gives thanks to the following donors for their generous contributions. Now, I don't know if these names are all supposed to be important. I only know of one of them, but maybe I'm missing some of them. So it's Nicholas C. Conrad, Arthur Morgan, obviously, Henry M. Seymour, Willis Coleman, Clemens Healy, D.W. Brown, Jackson Young, Marco Vinicio Romano, Mr. and Mrs. J. Leclerc. Now, that one right there is important. If you guys have played Red Dead Online, you would know that Mrs. Leclerc is like the main person in which you get missions from. And you know that the reason you're getting missions from her is because you're trying to find out who killed her husband. So that's sort of an interesting mystery. Mr. and Mrs. Leclerc both donated here, which means that he was alive at some point to donate to this hall. Anyways, moving on, it's Patrick Daniels, Spencer W. Jones, Jean-Pierre Champagne, George Milton Cooper, and then it gets kind of hard to read. It's Mr. and Mrs. F. Gibson, Abraham F. Serbiant, Walter J. H. something. I think it's Charles, and then you've got Joseph, and I'm not sure what the bottom one is. But I think the important one there is clearly Arthur Morgan, and Mrs. Leclerc and Mr. Leclerc being on there is a cool little Easter egg. So this might go down as the shortest side mission of all time in Red Dead Redemption 2, a stranger mission that literally requires you to just donate $20. But either way, I thought it was incredibly cool and unique because it is a way in which Arthur Morgan is literally going to be remembered forever. As long as the Quincy Harris Memorial Hall stands and this plaque is here, he'll be remembered forever, even long after John Marston's gone and everyone else is gone from the Red Dead Redemption 2 campaign. But anyways, that's all the information that I've got for you guys in this video today. Hopefully you did enjoy. If you did, be sure to leave a like rating on this video. That'd be awesome. And subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new. or you like daily Red Dead Redemption 2 videos like this. With all the way, guys, like I said, thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.